Joining me right now for more analysis, Fox News strategic analyst, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, who's saying, look, surprise, Islamic terror is about Islam? What do you mean by that?
Well, it's amazing to me that this far into the struggle against global jihadism, that those on the left and even many in the center strain to deny that jihad, violent jihad, has anything to do with Islam. Now, of course, overwhelmingly, here and abroad, most Muslims are trying to get on with their lives, just get through the day. But to deny that the radical Islamists, however small minority they are, have anything to do with Islam is crazy. Of course, jihad, violent jihad, comes out of Islam. And we have to face the fact that of all the world's great religions, right now, Islam is the one in crisis. Both the horrifically violent fighting in the Middle East between Sunni and Shia, but also Islamist terrorism. Whether you call it the perversion of Islam or simply extreme fundamentalism, that's not so important. But you have to do what the left is unwilling to do and recognize that faith, all faith as a matter of fact, is an incredibly powerful force in human affairs. And Trish, we here have a disconnect where the intelligentsia is largely agnostic or atheistic. They don't really understand. If you don't believe, you cannot understand the transformative, transfigurative power of all faith. And in the case of Islamism today, it's faith gone terribly wrong. Faith that believes, as other faiths have done at other points in history, faith that believes it must enforce its will, its way through violence.
But you know, Colonel, that's nothing new. In fact, I was quoting de Tocqueville earlier, and one of the other things I stumbled across last night, he was talking about Muslims and how he had never seen such sort of violence as what Muhammad put forward. In other words, he converted by the sword. So this is something that's been part of the religion forever.
Well, yeah, that's a very important point, actually, Trish. I'm glad you raised it. Now, again, in these politically correct times, we have to do the disclaimer. Most Muslims, especially most American Muslims, are peaceful, are not hostile to the United States. But Islam is the opposite of Christianity. Christianity was born as a pacifist religion. Its early martyrs are those who go willingly to their deaths rather than fighting back, whereas Islam, historically, was born in warfare. It was spread by warfare in various ways, in various forms, in various countries, but its roots were in the tribal warfare of the Arabian Peninsula. There's no question about that. The early heroes of Islam are all warriors, and that leaves a profoundly different legacy. It does not mean that all Muslims are violent, but it does put a strain in the religion.
And you may get criticized for saying this, Colonel Peters, because you're not Muslim. But I'll tell you, we've talked to Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, whom you know well many times on this show. He's Islamic, and he says the same thing. And this is why he's actively working to reform the religion, because he thinks that there are parts of that religion that these jihadists take very seriously, and none of it is good from that perspective.
Yeah, well, Trish, certainly there are many movements within Islam. It's not a monolithic religion. And some of the Sufi philosophers and poets have been really admirable. But the Islamists, the hardcore jihadis, reject them. In fact, that attack on a mosque in Egypt a few weeks ago was on a Sufi mosque. So these extremists, these fanatical jihadis, are trying to prevent any modernization, any reform. And by the way, let us never forget that overwhelmingly, the people, the human beings they have tortured and slaughtered have been their fellow Muslims.
So knowing that there's this strain, knowing that they want death to us, Colonel Peters, what do we do when we try and reconcile, okay, we have religious freedom in this country, and we want to make sure you can go to your mosque and pray and do all of that, but we need to simultaneously be keeping an eye on that mosque? And the reality is you're going to keep an eye on the mosque, I would think, if you're in intelligence, more so than, say, the Catholic Church down the street, because you're more likely to have an Islamic extremist at the mosque.
Well, I would propose something that's in chronically short supply in political circles, and that is common sense. Political correctness cannot determine everything. When there is when there is good reason to suspect a particular mosque of propagating Islamist extremism, then of course you should be listening to it and go through the court system, do it right. But there can be no such thing as a totally protected faith where you can surveil radical Christians or radical Jews or radical Hindus, but you can't surveil radical Muslims. And oh, by the way, another thing that really angers me about the intelligentsia here and abroad is that the only religions, in their views, the only religions that are open to criticism are and blame are Christianity and Judaism. Islam is never guilty. Well, you know, all faiths have their problems, and we've got to recognize that today Islam is in many ways, not all, a deeply troubled and increasingly dangerous faith.
Look, you're right. Every religion has issues, and I'm still trying to deal with the fact that the Catholic Church won't let a woman become a priest, right?
Yeah.
Colonel Peters.
You know, but you don't see many Methodist suicide bombers.
You know, look, you know, that's the unfortunate reality of this, and the idea that it's somehow rooted in warfare, from an extremist view anyway, is very troubling and very, very scary. Colonel Peters, thank you as always
Thank you,
for
Trish.
that common sense.